they were trying to compel people to say he was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him.
Every time LeBron does something, if Jordan wanted to, he would have done it.
I didn't say that. Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. The debate never dies. It's everywhere, on television, on podcasts, across social media timelines. People say it's tired, they say it's overdone, but the truth is, it keeps resurfacing because deep down, everyone believes there can only be one name at the very top. At the summit of basketball greatness, only one man can stand alone. According to Stephen A. Smith, that man is Michael Jordan. No filters, no hesitation, no soft takes. Stephen A. has made it clear that he's done entertaining what he sees as constant spin and endless narrative shifts. To him, this isn't a complicated debate. It's not about trending moments or viral highlights. It's about legacy. When conversations turn to records, 40-point games, championships, finals performances, Jordan's resume speaks loudly. Stephen A.'s stance is that Jordan isn't just labeled the greatest of all time, he became the standard. He's the measuring stick, the blueprint. Every superstar who came after him, including LeBron James, is measured against what Jordan accomplished. Today, when LeBron breaks a record, wins a regular season game, or drops 40 points, social media erupts instantly. GOAT graphics flood timelines. Hashtags trend within minutes. The celebration feels automatic, almost expected. But
Jordan have.
Period. This breakdown dives into 12 powerful quotes from Stephen A. Smith that challenge the LeBron GOAT narrative piece by piece. Not with emotion, not with nostalgia, but with sharp comparisons and uncomfortable contrasts. Each quote lands with force, questioning whether longevity alone can outweigh perfection at the highest level. If you're tired of recycled arguments and surface-level stats, this is where the conversation shifts. This is about clarity over confusion and substance over hype. And if you appreciate real basketball talk, NBA Showdown is where it continues, because this debate isn't going anywhere. Stephen A. begins his case with two key points he believes should immediately slow down the GOAT discussion. First, Michael Jordan became the first player in NBA history to score 40 points in a game at age 40. That wasn't just about scoring, it was about defying time itself. Jordan stepped away from the league, returned, retired again, and returned again, yet still managed to deliver moments that shook the entire NBA. That isn't just longevity, it's presence, it's aura, it's the kind of impact that doesn't fade simply because the calendar moves forward. Then there's LeBron James. In his 22nd season, he recorded his 78th career 40-point game. On the surface, that's extraordinary, and Stephen A. doesn't deny it. But he frames it differently. When numbers are accumulated over 2 decades, he argues, they can start to feel like the product of endurance rather than flashes of untouchable dominance. That's where the contrast sharpens. Jordan didn't need...
Jordan was the first 40-year-old to drop 40. That's number one. LeBron James is in his 22nd season. That was the 78th time in his career he has scored over...
That kind of greatness isn't just about numbers. It's about aura, presence, and an impact that lives far beyond the box score. In Stephen A.'s view, LeBron still hasn't captured that same feeling. Then comes a statistic that really lands. Michael Jordan played 7 fewer seasons than LeBron and still recorded 173 games with 40 or more points. Think about that for a second. In just 15 seasons, with 2 retirements in between, Jordan delivered 173 scoring explosions. That wasn't just production, that was dominance, concentrated and relentless. Jordan didn't simply accumulate points, he dismantled defenses with ruthless efficiency. Every matchup felt personal. Every fourth quarter felt like a takeover. He didn't manage the game, he attacked it. Meanwhile, LeBron has benefited from longer prime years, advanced recovery methods, elite training staffs, and a modern NBA.
The league long enough that I was in college. And still, he ain't catch Jordan.
Every bucket came with resistance. Every drive absorbed contact. LeBron has been phenomenal, no one denies that. But Stephen A. argues that he has operated with advantages Jordan never had, from modern sports science to more offense-friendly rules. Even with those benefits, he still hasn't surpassed what Jordan accomplished in a much tighter window. Longevity is often praised as a weapon, but Stephen A. flips that idea. He suggests that needing more time can also mean more time was required just to remain in the debate. Jordan didn't need extra chapters to define his legacy. His peak was powerful enough to stand on its own. Then Stephen A. shifts to another uncomfortable comparison, LeBron's early years. It took him 8 seasons to win his first championship, marked by playoff exits and hard lessons. Jordan's path looked different. Once he broke through and reached the summit, he didn't linger. He shut the door on the rest of the league. That contrast keeps the debate alive. One career reflects a long, steady climb. The other is defined by a dominant takeover the moment the opportunity appeared. Jordan didn't gradually ease into greatness. He exploded into the league. When he arrived in Chicago, he transformed the culture of the franchise.
So right now, anything that Michael Jordan wanted to do, he didn't spend the first 8 years shivering. He didn't have to go to South Beach to learn.
He left Cleveland. He joined forces with other All-Stars. After difficult postseason losses, he had to regroup, reassess, and rebuild, step by step. According to Stephen A. Smith, this isn't just a comparison of careers, it's a comparison of mindsets. Jordan didn't wait to become great. He imposed greatness from the moment he stepped onto an NBA court. The tone shifted instantly. LeBron entered the league with extraordinary talent, but his path required adjustments, partnerships, and recalibration before championships followed. That's not an insult, it's a contrast. Jordan forged his legacy through resistance, pressure, and high-stakes moments when everything was on the line. LeBron, on the other hand, built his career more strategically, making calculated moves, adapting to new environments, and thriving in different systems. Yet people often treat their journeys as identical. Stephen A. insists they are not even close. To him, greatness isn't defined only by how a career ends, but by how it begins. Jordan walked into arenas with a permanent edge. He didn't borrow credibility, he seized it. LeBron earned his through evolution, movement, and rebuilding teams around him. That distinction, Stephen A. argues, matters. The debate intensified when Shannon Sharpe pushed back, asking, in essence, if Jordan could have done all these things, why didn't he? It sounded like a strong defense of LeBron, but Stephen A. quickly flipped the argument. The real question, he suggested, isn't why Jordan didn't follow LeBron's path, it's why LeBron had to take that path at all. Jordan didn't rely on extended timelines to build headlines. The banners, the finals record, and the scoreboard spoke for him. Stephen A.'s stance is blunt. Jordan completed the mission early and emphatically. He didn't need the longevity argument because the dominance argument had already been won. That's why, in this debate, one is viewed as the blueprint, while the other is still being measured against it. When Jordan walked away from the game at the top, twice, it reinforced that idea. And when he returned at age 40 and scored 40 points, it wasn't a publicity campaign or an attempt to rewrite history. It was a reminder that greatness doesn't expire with age. Some argue that because Jordan didn't do certain things, LeBron
was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him. Curry hasn't said that about himself. Steph Curry has never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Ray Allen never called himself the greatest shooter.
Think about what that really means. More years, more games, more minutes, more possessions, and greater access to modern training, recovery methods, and advanced technology. Yet the mountain Jordan built in a shorter span still appears taller. That's the uncomfortable part of the debate. In sports, longevity is usually a bonus, a cherry on top of greatness. But Stephen A. Smith flips that idea. He argues that longevity has become the primary pillar keeping LeBron in the GOAT conversation. Without the extended timeline, the resume looks different. Jordan didn't need a 20-year campaign to cement his legacy. He conquered the league in 15 seasons, and even that total is misleading. There were 2 retirements, 2 full breaks from basketball, and 2 final seasons with the Washington Wizards when he was far removed from his prime. Still, the record shows 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, and a perfect finals record. Stephen A's message is blunt. Opinions can be debated, but facts are stubborn. LeBron has had ample time to surpass Jordan if a clear gap truly existed. If he were undeniably greater, wouldn't that already be universally accepted? Instead, the conversation keeps evolving. New milestones, new statistical benchmarks, new angles to keep the debate alive. 2 decades in, and the discussion still leans on almost, context, and what if. Jordan never required that kind of maintenance. He didn't seek validation or constant comparison. He became the standard everyone else chases. Stephen A sharpens the point with humor. LeBron has been in the league longer than he himself was in college and still hasn't caught Jordan. It's dramatic, even funny, but beneath the joke is a serious claim. If 7 extra years haven't closed the gap, perhaps it was never meant to close. In his view, Jordan did it faster, cleaner, and in a way that left no lingering doubts decades later. That's why the debate persists. One legacy feels complete, while the other still feels like it's arguing its case in real time. According to Stephen A, being top 3 all-time is already elite status. The controversy arises when fans insist on rewriting history to place LeBron above the player who, in his view, defined what greatest looks like, Michael Jordan. Jordan never had to beg for respect. He made it impossible to deny. Think about what that really means. More years, more games, more minutes, more possessions, and greater access to modern training, recovery methods, and advanced technology. Yet the mountain Jordan built in a shorter span still appears taller. That's the uncomfortable part of the debate. In sports, longevity is usually a bonus, a cherry on top